Morning peeps, folks. It's a beautiful morning here in Melbourne in Australia, and get a bit of sun on me, so you can see me. We're going to go to the stock loft this morning, and we're going to talk about stock birds, I guess, and how many we've got, and how many nest boxes you'll need, and anything else I can think on the way. This is not scripted, this is off the top of my head, so you have to bear with me. And it's early. We've got a few stock birds. Oh, is it? It's a bit damp or something, is it? Alright. A few stock birds in here. Some late breds. That's Hoovens in there. Hoovens from a guy named Mark Tung. Bought him. Only cost me $50. It's never been tried out, but geez, he's a beautiful bird. Nice in the hand. He's about 8 years old. I took the risk because sometimes at that age they stop breeding. So I thought I'll pay the 50 and see how I go, and he's knocked out some absolutely gems. This old boy, he doesn't have a ring. I bought him the first year I got pigeons. I bought him from the market, and when I bought him, I didn't even buy him to breed or anything. I bought him because I felt sorry for him. Another pigeon I bought, and this is at the market, so I didn't know anyone with races at the time. Well, I did, but I didn't know I did. I didn't know they still had them. So I just moved down from Byron Bay to Melbourne, and anyway, I bought that old boy, and he was real quiet, and I was in a horrible place, and I thought, oh, he's only $10. I'll buy him. I'll take him home. At least I'll save him. So I bought him. I didn't want him to be there, and I got him home, and I was sitting in my loft for a few hours watching my birds, and he was really quiet and down, and I was, I was a bit concerned. So, I was looking at his leg, and he had a little limp. So I got up and I felt his ring on his leg, and it was tight. I went, haha. Okay, always check your older pigeons with their rings. If they're tight and they're hurting them, it's going to change the bird. It's going to make them depressed, make them angry, because I've had it a few times now. Got another bird from a mate, and it was jumping in other nest boxes, killing the babies, the eggs. I thought about this bird, and I picked it up. Its ring was tight, cut its ring off. The bird changed instantly. Different pigeon. And this boy, I cut his ring off. He was depressed. Within a couple of days, his leg's a little bit funny now. He's got a bit of a claw. As soon as I cut it, it released, and he's got a bit of a claw. But he changed. And he's bred me a fifth fed bird. Every one of his young'uns, I haven't lost many of them. And yeah, he's been an absolute gem of a bird. He's got me in the fed quite a few times, his babies. And have a look at him now. He was a wreck when I got him. So you can make a wreck of a pigeon nice and good. His ring's off. There's his mate, Michael Portelli's bird. Champion pigeon flyer, and a couple of his young'uns there. I've bred them because he's getting old. He may not bred me any more next year, so I'm a bit worried. I've got some of his young'uns racing this year, but I want them birds for stock. And same as the old Hooven here. He may not breed any more next year. He's old, so I've bred a couple with my top pigeon, and they've got a couple of babies in there as well, out the back there. And so, yeah, they'll be for stock as well, just in case he don't breed. And if he does, what I've got to lose, I don't have many stock birds anyway. At the moment, I think I've only got, I had 15 each, but I think I've only got about 10, 11 cocks and even less hens at the moment. Because what I do, they're my main stock birds. At the end of the year, if the pigeons that have done well and that I've still got, I'll put in for stock and breed out of them, breed youngs out of them, because they'll only be a year old, and apparently it's good to breed younger pigeons as well, because I don't know how true it is. It's one of them things that their young'uns are more, oomph, but I don't know how true that is, because he's an old fella and he bangs out great pigeons. He's one of the lightest birds I've got, light as a feather, mate, holds well. I reckon the person who owned him didn't, because a bit old, didn't end his life. I reckon they loved him that much. They needed room for the loft, but they've hopefully given him away. Hopefully someone's given him a good life. Well, he has now. So if you recognise him, yeah, he's a pied. He's got a white flight in his wing. He's at my place and he's been doing well. So what you want to do with your stock loft, because your cockbirds and your hen birds, when they start breeding, they don't want one nest. They want 2, maybe 3 even, you know. And that's a reason why I've got this. I built this because I got these birds are older, and the young cockbirds get in there and beat them up. They're not as fighty when they're getting old, you know. So I've had to put him in there separately so they don't get messed around by the younger cocks. On the bottom here, my cock, he got me 9th fed, and I put him in with my hen that got the 3rd fed on a 2-day race, in the same race. I put them together. He's a small cock, she's a big hen, and her father comes from the same place as him. But he died. I walked in the loft one day, he was dead. Sometimes they die, they have heart attacks. He was in absolutely prime nick, but he was just dead. That happens, you know. There's life, there's death. And yeah, I had him in there because he was an extremely violent pigeon. And he was just jumping in boxes, he had blood all over him, I had to pull him out to separate him. That's why it's good to have a little something on the side just in case you do get birds like that. That tells me that bird's got a lot of heart. Number one, because he's done a 2-day race, come home like, you know, he got 9th, he was still in the top 10, but you know, tells me he's got a big heart and tough pigeon. It's not good to see your birds. For me, I don't like seeing your birds try and kill each other, but they can be extremely violent pigeons when they've got eggs and that. They like to, you know, try and take over boxes. Just keep an eye on your stock birds. When you first get them, you don't know your birds, keep an eye on them, make sure you haven't got one that's jumping another. Check that nothing's irritating them, because that can make them go a bit nutty. Or they can just be a violent pigeon that's dominant and wants more boxes. So if that's the case, then you may have to put them in, build them a little thing on the side, because you don't want them jumping in and killing babies and stuff. It's not good, and you know, wrecks your breeding season. So there's our breeding boxes. As you can see, we lock them up because the birds ain't breeding anymore. The loft hasn't been cleaned this morning. We clean that every morning. So we got, when we're breeding, we open this side so the hens and cocks are together. We pair them up, which means we pick what hens and what cocks to go together, and sometimes we'll let them just find themselves as well. Yeah, so we have 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 breeding boxes. And we normally put a couple of other things in that they can nest, and a few bowls on the floor, and put something, you know, something over them so they can get in there. They like getting in little places and holes and stuff and hide. And yeah, we put a few around the floor because some of them like to not go in boxes, and they like to nest on floors, or if they don't get a box. So make sure there's plenty of boxes in there. You want 2 for each pair at least, and it's always good to have a few spares as well. So yeah, he's going through a heavy molt. That's the one that was violent. He's back in there with the cocks now because they're not breeding, so it doesn't worry him. He's in heavy molt. I've just put his babies over there, but he's a young bird, and his hens. Where's his hen? Can't see. And they're the hens. And as always, that's pink powder up there, and we've got grit and that stones and picking stones down there. Plenty of fresh water. They've got grit and that down there as well. Put pink powder. If they haven't got pink powder, I swap it round, because they don't eat much pink powder when they're not breeding. It's a powder full of vitamins and minerals and stuff in it, if you're wondering. Yeah, plenty of air. Got the vents on the side there. Got one vent down there, but I need to put one each on the back, so when the wind comes through the top, it can come through and out the back. But like I said, there's not that many birds in there as well, so it's not heavily dusted or anything. But yeah, best thing to do, because you're going to probably be a little bit impatient if you haven't got pigeons and you get a few birds. You won't be able to let any older birds out because they'll go home. That's what they do, yeah? They raise pigeons, they'll go home. It might take you, even if you have them for 3 or 4 years and you bred heaps of babies, a lot of them will try and get home. So what you want to do is try and get some squeakers. Just come out of the nest ready to go over. Talk to your clubs, like I said. Try and get some squeakers. They're the babies. And because they only take you 5, 6, 7 days to home, put them in for a couple of days. Shake your feed every time you feed them so they know it's feeding time. Put them through your traps a few times, or put a wire cage above your traps. There's the traps there. Yeah, so they can get in, but they can't get out. There's different types of traps. That's just one type. Or you can just have your door open, and when you shake the tin, your birds will come in and feed. Just put them on your landing board. Put them through your traps a few times so they know how to get in, and then just put them on your landing board when you're ready. A lot of people put theirs in you know, they'll put a wire cage around there so they can come out. You put them out and they'll sit on the landing board all day, and when they're ready they'll go back through the traps. That's one way to do it. We don't do that. We just put them through the traps backwards from the cloth. We put them through a few times, and then last bit we'll just put them through the traps, and they'll sit on the board for a few hours. After a couple of days they'll fly on the loft roof. But yeah, normally depends how old the squeaker is. A bit old, you might have to keep it in for a bit longer. If they've got a bit of yellow on the head, you know they're real young. If you're breeding young'uns yourself, and you want to know when to put them over, when underneath their wing, right? Underneath their wing, they're full feathering. Can't see any skin, the feathers are full under their wing. That's when they're ready to put over. You can even wait a couple of days more after that. And normally some people just put their young'uns in, but I'll get their young'uns and I'll push their head in the water trough so they know where it is. Yeah, and it's good to try and get some young'uns straight up, because after a week you'll be putting them out, you and your kids and your wife, and you'll sit down. That's where me and Henry sit, and that was their bath last night. It was a beautiful night. We'll sit and we'll have a couple of beers and watch the birds bath and walk around, and then when they're finished, and we'll let them relax for a while, and we'll call them in, give them their night feed. Any questions? Anyone on Smith and Henry on Facebook, and you're an advanced flyer and you've been flying for years, please put up ideas for people that are learning. You know, this is not just for this site's for everybody, but we always like to assume there's new people coming on board and checking out what's going on. We'd love if you put any ideas or do your own filming. You're welcome to put them up. Not a problem. More the merrier. That helps out for beginners. The more flyers the better. And look at this day, it's beautiful. We're letting the birds out soon. And have a good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy. May the force be with you.